Hey everyone, my name is Josh and welcome back to your fourth stimulus package and news update. We have a lot of news to get into in today's video, but first, if you would like to receive one free stock from Robinhood just by opening an account, make sure to claim it by clicking my link, which you will find in the description box below. Okay, so in yesterday's video, I noted that Tim Kaine and many other Democrats still believe many provisions in Build Back Better can pass, even though it probably won't end up being the entire package. Even though the monthly child tax credit payments stop going out this month, if they're included in the package, those should start right back up again. If passed in time, families could receive 3 payments, for example, in the month of March. At this point though, there's really no telling when they'll pick back up on negotiations. In the meantime, it is tax season, which means for some of us, more money to be claimed. For those of you who benefited from the increased child tax credit payments, you'll be able to claim the other half of the payments as a credit on your tax returns. This means if you have one child under the age of 6, throughout last year, you should have received a grand total of $1,800. This also means on your tax returns, you'll be able to claim an additional $1,800. Also to note, if you received the child tax credit payments throughout last year, you should be receiving a letter 6419 before the end of this month. Furthermore, if you were eligible for the child tax credit payments but never received them throughout last year, when you go to file your tax returns this year, you will be able to claim the entire amount. So just for another example, if you have one child under the age of 6, in that case, you'll be able to claim $3,600. Furthermore, another credit you may be eligible for is the third direct payment that was sent out last year. This one was for $1,400, so if you never received it but you were eligible to receive it, then you can also claim that amount as well. You should also keep in mind that if you didn't receive the full amount or less than what you should have, you will be able to claim the difference. And just as a fresh reminder, the eligibility in order to receive the last direct payment was $75,000 for single filers or $150,000 per year for joint filers. So as long as you made less money than those amounts, you should have been eligible to receive the full payment. Okay, so while Democratic leaders try to work out something on Build Back Better to fill the void, they continue to push pieces of legislation dealing with voting rights. Yesterday, President Joe Biden decried voter suppression in a message on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Last week, Vice President Harris and I visited Atlanta, Georgia, the cradle of civil rights in America. We paused and prayed at the crypt of Dr. and Mrs. King. We met members of their family, Dr. Bernice King, Martin Luther King III, his wife, Andrea, his daughter, Yolanda. We met students who were changing the world, just like generations of young people before them had done that. In fact, Dr. King was just one of those young people, 15-year-old student at Morehouse College when he began his journey to fulfill the promise of America for all Americans. A promise that holds that we're all created equal and deserve to be treated equally throughout our lives. Dr. King wasn't just a dreamer of that promise, he was a doer. And on this federal holiday that honors him, it's not just enough to praise him. We must commit to his unfinished work, to deliver jobs and justice, to protect the sacred right to vote, the right from which all other rights flow. The attack on our democracy is real, from the January 6th insurrection to the onslaught of Republicans' anti-voting laws in a number of states. It's no longer just about who gets to vote. It's about who gets to count the vote and whether your vote counts at all. It's about two insidious things, voter suppression and election subversion. In his time, through his courage, his conviction, and his commitment, Dr. King held a mirror up to America and forced us to answer the question, where do we stand? Whose side are we on? We're in another moment right now where the mirror is being held up to America, being held up again. The question being asked again, where do we stand? Whose side are we on? Will we stand against voter suppression, yes or no? Will we stand against election subversion, yes or no? Will we stand up for an America where everyone is guaranteed the full protections and the full promise of this nation, yes or no? I know where I stand, and it's time for every elected official in America to make it clear where they stand. It's time for every American to stand up, speak out, be heard. Where do you stand? Whose side are you on? On this day of remembrance, service, and action, may God bless Dr. and Mrs. King and their family. And may God bless you all. May God protect our troops.
So Democrats feel a great importance to federalize all election laws, believing that certain groups are being discriminated against when it comes to voting. Then Republicans, on the other hand, believe this is a non-issue as no current laws in any states prevent anyone from being able to cast a ballot. Meanwhile, with the 2024 presidential election being right around the corner, the race for the Republican candidate is beginning to heat up. Just recently, former President Donald Trump lashed out on Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis, saying that he has a dual personality. From another source, Trump apparently said that if not for his endorsement, DeSantis wouldn't even be governor right now. Apparently, Trump is upset that DeSantis hasn't yet publicly said that he won't run against the former president. And just recently, Trump also took some time while campaigning in Arizona to lash out on the current president, Joe Biden. In a part of a speech, he said his exact prediction of what would happen if Joe Biden did become president has unfortunately come true.
Well, but I said if they get elected, our country would become a large-scale version of Venezuela, remember? And I didn't really, I said it and I meant it a little bit. Guess what? It's true. We're becoming a large-scale version of Venezuela, which was a very successful country 20 years ago, and now they have no food, they have no water, everybody's dying. It's being run by a horrible group of killers, and we have a horrible group. People ask me often, President, could I ask you a question? What was the toughest country? And they're so interested. We've made people very interested in politics, right? Very, very interested. What was the toughest country to deal with? Was it Russia? Sir, could it be China or perhaps North Korea? Was it Iran? I said, no, the toughest country to deal with was the United States of America. We have some crazy people where they create the Russia hoax and all created, all fabricated, and actually the toughest country to deal with is not China or Russia, it's the United States. It's a disgrace. And you notice we don't talk about greatness anymore. We talk about the environment. We talk about COVID, the China virus. We talk about race. We talk about all this. We never talk about greatness anymore. Other countries are talking about their military and their power and their this and their that. We don't talk about greatness anymore as a country. You turn on the news and watch these fakers. They're fakers. You turn on the fake news at night and you watch what they talk about. It's all things that it's just not possible. And a country has to be thinking to the future. It has to be thinking about greatness, and we don't even think about it anymore. We don't think about it, and it's very sad. And we are going to change that around, and even in America, we're witnessing cruelties that can be scarcely believed. They can't be believed.
But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Again, if you would like to receive 1 free stock from Robinhood just for opening an account, make sure to claim it by clicking my link in the description box below. So once again, I do hope that everyone has a great and safe rest of their day, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.